Who's taking credit for Telangana? And more importantly than that, you can start creating more states. But what is the point, the Lakshman Rekha, at which you will stop and say the bifurcation of India's political map must stop here? On the Newshour Debate tonight, Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena, Rajagopal, Member of Parliament of the Congress Party. Thank you very much. Sanjay Jha of the Congress Party, Meenakshi Lekhi of the BJP, Mohammed Salim of the CPIM. We're going to be joined by TDP and TRS representatives in a minute, including also an activist for Bundelkhand. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Who takes credit? I think the BJP should give the Congress Party some credit today. They bit the bullet, which you couldn't. They created the state, which you didn't. So Meenakshi Lekhi, would you give the Congress Party some credit today for having done this?
I will pat the back of my officers and and also my leaders, because it is due to their pressure that this state has been created, and a long arduous work. And if we can take the history from 2004, and if you want to take the history from 1948, of course 5 years BJP in the form of NDA has existed, but most time it has been
I don't know
UPA or the Congress.
Well, I don't know. I won't take sides, but I remember there was certain Mr. LK Advani who on April 2002 wrote a letter to A. Narendra. He was a member of parliament and he rejected Telangana when he was Home Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. And at that point of time, he said regional disparities in economic development could be tackled through planning and efficient use of available resources. So that was LK Advani as Deputy Prime Minister rejecting Telangana. I don't know what you're taking credit for, Meenakshi.
I will tell you, post that 2011, Sushma ji has spoken in the parliament and was also explained the entire corollary of the events, and was also spoken about LK Advani making a statement and what was the context, and post
but you couldn't create it.
Mr. LK Advani has spoken.
But you couldn't create it.
And let me.
But you couldn't create it.
You are speaking. No, no, let me tell you, we could not create it, but we worked on several other fronts and we worked on separate states. Now when it
you worked on Uttarakhand, you worked on Chhattisgarh, you worked on Jharkhand, you failed when it came to Telangana, and today you are using it as a political tool to target the Congress Party.
I'm sorry.
That's the problem.
Absolutely not. I'm not using it as a political tool, but I'm showing them the mirror, because since 2004 they had a alliance with TRS and they wanted Telangana
let's get the reactions.
They separated, they went back, and 2009 again
Sanjay Jha.
The same story repeated.
Let's hear the rebut. Sanjay Jha.
19
Sanjay Jha.
MPs were elected by the Congress because
no,
Telangana.
No, I frankly,
repeatedly, it's the Congress which has been dishing the people.
No, one sec. Meenakshi Lekhi, let's get the Congress Party reaction in, because of course you've done it, but Sanjay Jha, you know what the problem is. You've done it because you know you'll be decimated otherwise. So the decision on Telangana is a last minute, desperate attempt by a desperate party who wants to salvage the situation somehow. Sanjay Jha and Mr. Rajagopal, why don't you respond to both
Absolutely.
that and what Meenakshi Lekhi says?
Arnab, firstly, I'm grateful. Forget expecting any appreciation from the BJP. I'm glad they have not alleged it as another Congress conspiracy. So I'm very grateful to that. And thank you very much. My gratitude, I need to express it on national television to Meenakshi Lekhi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. The second point is, I think, Arnab, this is a bold, pragmatic, and a very far-sighted decision taken by the UPA. It's a complex and a very difficult decision, because there is a historical legacy, and end of day, while a lot of the pro-Telangana protesters have been in the public spotlight and have been seen on television, etc., the truth is there were sizable people with an anti-Telangana sentiment as well.
Within your own party,
these decisions are
within your own party, a sizable chunk opposing Telangana within your own party.
There is a absolutely, which is, that is in the public domain. But end of the day, I think we have taken a decision. We have taken a decision with complete understanding of the fact that the Andhra Pradesh is an extremely important state.
Yeah.
We have to recognize the sentiments of people. Remember, Telangana is not a
so you are admitting
issue. It's been there for the last 4 decades.
So there you are admitting. You are admitting.
Somewhere recognize
you are admitting what I'm saying. You are admitting what I'm saying. And what am I saying? I'm saying that a separate Telangana was in your manifesto in 2004. It was part of the common minimum program. Congress party, Sanjay Jha, wakes up 9 years later. Hence, you agree that this is a purely political decision, keeping in mind your plummeting fortunes in the Andhra Pradesh state. Let's get Mr. KTR.
Not at all.
Well,
not at all.
How come not at all? KTR is joining us. KT Rama Rao, good evening. Arnab here.
Hi, good evening, Arnab.
Okay, Congress party taking credit. Congress party representative, let's get Sanjay Jha on the screen. Congress party representative takes credit, and another Congress party leader says, don't forget your promise to merge with the Congress party. Will you keep your promise, and what's your response to the Congress?
Solutions for the
A couple of things, Arnab. We don't mind whoever takes credit as long as
Sanjay, listen to KTR.
That people want.
Sanjay, listen to KTR. Sanjay, listen to KT Rama Rao.
As long as Telangana is delivered, as long as Telangana is delivered in the fashion that people wanted it, I don't think we mind the credit debit game. We do not have any opinion on that issue as such.
Are you merging? Are you going to merge your party with the Congress party? Digvijay Singh has reminded.
Arnab, do you really think we are that naive that we would make such an important decision on national telecast?
Well, it's my right to ask you. Digvijay Singh has said it on a national telecast. Digvijay Singh has said so on television. Digvijay Singh says that your father promised to merge your party. Would you do so today?
We will cross that bridge when we get to it, because there are a lot more issues to be discussed. We'll definitely cross that bridge when we get to it.
Well, KT, I remind you that the creation of a separate state has been your one-point agenda, and therefore it is my right and responsibility to ask you what you're going to do after that. Let's get Mr. Rajagopal, and who takes the credit? Who takes the credit for this, Mr. Rajagopal, and are you opposed to the creation of a separate state?
Arnab, just a question, who takes the credit? It's a sad day for all of us. Congress had to take this decision because most of the political parties in Andhra Pradesh, including TDP and various other parties, have decided to agree for formation of Telangana. To sum up the numbers in the assembly comprising of all these political parties, including the member of parliament, MLAs of Telangana of Congress, naturally there is a majority in favor of formation of Telangana among the MLAs. This is what weighed in the mind of Congress, I'm sure about that. Only after the TDP has given the letter in December, when they saw there is a majority opinion in favor of division of Andhra Pradesh, Congress probably thought, let's agree for that. And that's the reason there is a resolution being introduced in the assembly. In that assembly, the true colors will come out. I'm sure that.
So what do you mean true colors will come out? Elaborate.
The vote will be.
What do you mean true colors will come out?
True colors of various political parties and the MLAs will definitely come out, and that assembly resolution will definitely be for unity of Andhra Pradesh. Never.
So you are saying this is an eyewash? This is a very important comment. Meenakshi Lekhi, let your response. Sanjay Jha, is the Congress party carrying out an eyewash? Is this an eyewash to claim credit, try and get the TRS? Are you pulling wool over the eyes of the people, Sanjay Jha?
I never said eyewash.
This has to go through a legislative process. Creation of a state involves the President's assent. It has to be cleared by Parliament. Where can it be an eyewash?
No, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't tell the people of Telangana, Sanjay Jha, that we are for the creation of a separate state and then hide behind an assembly resolution because your party MP, he's from your party, Mr. Rajagopal is challenging you. And he's saying today...
That is the legislative process.
Arnab, I'm not challenging
creating
anybody.
a state is not like slicing a cake.
There are two Congress MPs on the Newshour. One second. Which Congress do I believe? One Congress says I take credit for the creation of Telangana. The other Congress party representative on Newshour says, it's not going to happen when it comes up for resolution in the state. Which Congress party do I believe? Meenakshi Lekhi wants to come in quickly. I also like to welcome Revanth Reddy of the TDP, who's joining this interesting debate. Meenakshi.
See, we have to await, and this is typically Congress. They will speak in two languages and folk tongue constantly on any subject. The number of MLAs from Telangana in Andhra Assembly is limited and very small. So considering that the numbers going to get limited and considering the Congress party making a statement in the center could be different from what the on ground coming from Andhra Assembly, and I think it is that fear which is being.
So what is all this announcement all about? What does it add up to, Meenakshi, in your view?
So they are trying to, and this is apart from the basic issues, because when you announce a state, the geographical location, the capital, the funding, the division, the people, population, all those things, the nitty-gritty needs to be worked at. Nothing of that sort has been worked at. In this case, Hyderabad, the coastal region, all those things are very, very important and technical. I think finally and once for all those problems should finish, and not like a protracted battle between various states having a common capital, etc. That is the manner in which Congress has worked even in the past. We have seen Chandigarh, and we've seen. So I think everything should be resolved once for all.
KT Rama Rao looking extremely concerned. No.
Arnab, I would like to respond.
No. KTR, 1 minute. KTR, what's Sanjay Jha before you come? And I apologize to the Shiv Sena CPM representative not having gone for them. I'm going to the TDP representative in a minute. But I just want to explain to our viewers what is going on. The Congress party has taken a decision to push for the creation of Telangana. It's been officially approved. But on Newshour tonight, we have two Congress points of view. Sanjay Jha, who feels it will go through and it's only procedural that this decision goes through the assembly. Mr. Rajagopal on the other side believes that, who always has wanted a united Andhra Pradesh, he believes it will not go through because the numbers will not add up. KT Rama Rao, would you please tell me your perspective? Do you think this is just a politically strategic move to somehow make it look like the Congress party and the centre are finally pushing for Telangana, extract the political mileage, try and get you to merge with the Congress party, and then if this does not go through in the assembly, then blame the legislative process?
Well, I don't particularly think so, Arnab, because at this juncture, involving Congress Working Committee, the Congress Core Committee, and then UPA allies, and with NDA already being on board, I don't really think that is the case. If a bill is introduced in Parliament today, we don't really need anybody else other than Congress and BJP. We already have UPA on board completely, with NDA supporting it fully as well. The bill will be passed with 2/3 majority, and we don't really have a doubt on that aspect. But the question really is, when will a bill be
Mr. Rajagopal is saying the game will be opened up. Mr. Rajagopal, why do you say? One sec, Mr. Rajagopal, why did you say the real picture will come up in the assembly? What is your response to KTR?
Arnab, let me
just hear from Mr. Rajagopal. I'll come back to you, KTR. Yeah.
See, the practice is they'll be introducing assembly resolution, and there'll be debate on that. They'll be voting on that. In that voting, I'm very sure that the majority will be for unity. Even though on paper it looks like the Congress, TDP, everybody has agreed for division, but when the numbers add up, the numbers will be in favor of unity and not for division of Andhra Pradesh.
KTR, yes, please respond to that.
Yes, if I may remind my friend Rajagopal Arnab, the word used in Constitution really is expression of the view of the Assembly. It does not really matter whether the resolution is passed by the Assembly or whether the resolution is rejected by the Assembly. Definitely the case in Andhra Pradesh, as Meenakshi Lekhi was pointing out, is a case of minority being bulldozed by the majority. That's the problem here. But unfortunately for us, the Constitution explicitly states that the expression of the view of the Assembly is what is required, not a resolution being passed by the Assembly. So therefore, my friend Rajagopal can keep daydreaming, but at the end of the day, once the resolution is put to a discussion in Andhra Pradesh Assembly and it is sent back to Parliament, that's where the role of Andhra Pradesh Assembly ends. Now, as for the bill in Parliament...
No, one sec, Mr. Rajagopal, yes, Mr. Rajagopal, yes, Mr. Rajagopal is rebutting you. Hear him.
Arnab, if KTR is accepting that he is confident of that, let him go and merge with Congress. Why is he waiting for that? Let him go and immediately announce the merger.
I've asked him the question 3 times. He's not answered me. I asked him the same question on the merger with the Congress. Respond, Ms. KTR.
What is stopping him from...
No, what's going on? Is this some political underhand game?
What's going to happen when the state is going to be formed?
Arnab, let me remind my friend Rajagopal before he reminds me of the promise we made in the past, let me also remind him that he's made a promise to the people of Andhra Pradesh that he will retire from politics if Telangana is formed. Now that the CWC is resolved, let him tender his resignation, let him retire from politics.
I'll retire from politics the day the state is divided. I'm sure the state will never be divided.
Be ready, my friend, be ready for that.
Well, that's very dramatic.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm always ready. If you want, I'm always ready. The day the state is divided, I'll quit politics.
Well, here are challenges and counter-challenges. However, the discussion is not on whether Mr. Rajagopal of the Congress party retires or retires hurt, to use a sporting expression. Let's expand the scope of the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us also is Revanth Reddy of the TDP, Mohammed Salim of the CPM, Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena, and Raja Bundela, actor and activist for Bundelkhand. My question at this stage is, where do we stop? Where are we going to stop, Rahul Narvekar? Maybe with Vidarbha? Maybe with Vidarbha, because the people are now going to start demanding Vidarbha. There are people will demand 7 or 8 other states. There are several other states whose applications are pending at different stages. Politicians are considering it. What will happen now? What's the implication?
Well, Arnab, at the beginning of the show, when you asked whether Meenakshi Lekhi would like to congratulate the Congress party and give them credit, I was wondering that credit and congratulations is for what? Is for attempting to form Telangana, or is it for advancing their political interest over national interest, which they've always done? In the current scenario, the demand of Telangana is not new. It's pending for several years. The timing of this decision or the moves that we see of late is not very surprising. In the past also, when the Congress needed allies and when they needed support on the floor of the House in the Parliament, we have seen them initiating and activating the Telangana movement. Today we are about 8 months away from the Parliament elections. So I'm not too surprised with this stand of theirs.
Well,
however, whether this is in national interest or not is the moot question.
Who decides? Who decides? Who decides? Who decides? No, 1 second. 1 second. I would argue that you are arguing from the point of view of your narrow political interest. Because if you look back in history, then in 1956, the Fazal Ali State Reorganization Commission, after considering all the memoranda and related aspects, favored a separate Vidarbha state with Nagpur as its capital in 1956. It is the narrow political interest of the Shiv Sena which is standing in the way of that. So those activists who want a Vidarbha state will say that it is your narrow political interest and not theirs.
There is absolutely no question of any political interest insofar as Vidarbha is concerned. Our strength in Vidarbha will remain as it is and will improve whether or not Vidarbha is formed as a separate state or not. Insofar as the
your position is completely against Vidarbha. Please be honest on the news. It is Uddhav Thackeray has said that you will not allow the breakup of Maharashtra.
Vidarbha, can you tell me what are the advantages of breaking up the state of Maharashtra? To my mind, there are none.
So that logic. No, one second. Now, so we are going into the broader debate on smaller parties. Raja Bundela wants Bundelkhand. He's coming in.
You cannot decide about the others' interest. You can decide about your interest, your party's interest.
No,
the people are they are suffering since ages. It's happening in Bundelkhand, Rahul. You can't say it. You are a well-read person. You can say, what is the difference it's making? You ask and find out in Chhattisgarh what's the difference they are making. You ask and find out in Uttarakhand. They will have an answer for you. You see it in Haryana. They will have an answer for you. You can't say this for political gain. You just punishing people without any rhyme and reason.
Well, the answer is very simple to your question.
Please.
The answer is the advantages which you are talking about that a state achieves after it is split into two can be achieved even when the state is unified.
No,
can also be achieved if there is proper administration.
It can be in some other cases, but it's not possible in Vidarbha and Bundelkhand.
Are appropriately allotted, which the Congress government for the last 60 years haven't done. And that is why we are having breaking up of states every now and then and demands coming up of the like.
Rahul, first you manage the BMC.
So the answer is proper administration, not division of states.
The Bombay. Listen, first you manage the Mumbai First, you manage the municipal corporation. Don't
Let's not bring Sanjay Jha. Please, let's not bring the other topics. Let's stick to this. You have got tendency.
Please look at so many different Haryana and Himachal Pradesh.
May I, with your permission, attempt to anchor the Newshour tonight? Thank you. My question is to Mohammed Salim. My question is, where do we stop? So, you know, what's going to happen is Gorkhaland out of Darjeeling and its adjoining regions in West Bengal, that demand for a new state, demands received by the Home Ministry in 2009,
I think
along with Saurashtra, Kurg, Bundelkhand, Harit Pradesh, Mithilanchal, Greater Kuch Bihar. No, your state will face a demand in two areas. West Bengal will have to decide whether you can have Greater Kuch Bihar and Gorkhaland as a state. Mohammed Salim.
Yes. In the entire political milieu, I may find myself quite isolated, because you will find out that for the years together, unless we are not resolving the real issues, instead of resolving the real issues, we are trying to create a situation where new problems can erupt. And that's why we can find some solace. So here the Congress could not resolve its own problem, could not put his house together, so they are passing this burden to the state, and so it's uniting the party and dividing the state. And for that matter, in Bengali, if I see, it's Kamtapur, it's Greater Kuch Bihar, it's Gorkhaland, and then you will find something extra in Jangal Mahal tomorrow. Then you have Bodoland, you have Bundelkhand, you have Harit Pradesh, you have Vidarbha, and where, your original question was, where do we stop?
Yeah, where do we stop?
It's going to be a nation, instead of nation state, it's going to be a
please try to understand, जो genuine मांग है, उन मांगों को तो आपको मानना पड़ेगा.
Separate state chief minister. But the real issues of the people which we are facing in this country now, is it poverty, price rise, unemployment, underdevelopment, or is it that you require a new
broad argument?
It's a general argument.
They are talking about
one second.
Smaller states have failed to resolve the issues. You see it Chhattisgarh, you see it Jharkhand, you see it Manipur.
What's wrong with Chhattisgarh? What's wrong with Chhattisgarh? Chhattisgarh is much better than what your West Bengal were when you were ruling. It's 1,000 times better. It's Uttarakhand. You find 1,000 times better. Haryana and Punjab are 1,000 times better.
State is not being governed.
Let's not get into it.
Chhattisgarh,
after 36 years, what you have given to West Bengal, you know it yourself. Let's not talk about. Let's talk something genuine. Now there is a demand. It's a genuine demand, and we are going to follow it. Either it's a Bundelkhand or Vidarbha or Gorkhaland or Bodoland. We have decided, and you have to be willing to accept it.
How far? Now KTR is listening on to this debate. Meenakshi Lekhi wants to come in. Mr. Revanth Reddy, I'm sorry I haven't come to you. At this stage of the Newshour debate, the debate takes a different turn. We're asking whether new states are necessarily performing better than their mother states. Well, there is an argument here. Just want to put one statistic, Meenakshi Lekhi, before I come to you. I'm not arguing either side. But I agree that if you look at agriculture in Chhattisgarh, it's growing at 2.8%. Madhya Pradesh is at 0.8%. Right? Uttarakhand, ravaged by the floods, but it grew at 12.3% since 2004. Uttar Pradesh is going at 6.8%, which means Uttarakhand as a smaller state is growing at twice the rate of its mother state of Uttarakhand, of Uttar Pradesh. Is there an argument to be made there? Meenakshi Lekhi, your take on the small state versus big state argument. And the question Mohammed Salim puts is, you will not be able to stop if this continues. You'll just break up the country into too many different divisions.
You see, if you're breaking up not into separate states, but you're separate states as in separate nations, but you're making it a different administrative unit, and different administrative unit so that better governance prevails, and aspiration of people, if over 60 years has not been answered, either due to geographical exploitation or bad management or bad governance or whatever, then they definitely, or sometimes historical aspiration. In this case, Telangana was a historical aspiration. Now when such things are
there may be many states with historical aspirations. People in Bundelkhand will say we have a historical aspiration as well.
I'm coming to that. You see, if you see that, say for example Bundelkhand is part of Uttar Pradesh, but because it is a far corner, what happens in Lucknow?
That's not the only reason, Meenakshi ji. Please try to understand.
People may be within their rights. to determine and have their own government, to have their own governance.
Meenakshi ji, there was a treaty, 36 Maharaja. Please go to the history about Bundelkhand. You don't know about Bundelkhand. Please try to understand the history.
No, one second. Meenakshi Lekhi, I have a more simple question for you. 1 second, Meenakshi. 1 second. No. You have an answer. I have a question for her. And my question to Meenakshi Lekhi is this. 1 second. Meenakshi Lekhi, you're very clear tonight. You're absolutely clear that you are in principle in favor of smaller states, right? Could you tell everyone watching the Newshour tonight why your party was in such a bind, confused, not knowing what to do, utterly despaired when Mayawati unilaterally announced a division of Uttar Pradesh into 4 ahead of the UP elections? You'll say it's a political gimmick.
No, because she announced it.
No, but she announced it. Why were you in a bind then?
It's a political gimmick.
She passed it.
She passed it. It was not an only announcement.
Even today,
she passed it.
Even today, when you are announcing Telangana, I have the same concern. Because when you want to create a separate state, a huge
so what is
work
you see
in terms of geography.
No. Meenakshi Lekhi, no. Meenakshi Lekhi, no. I have on record the BJP president.
Just making an announcement.
I have on record the BJP president. I have on record the BJP president and Murli Manohar Joshi, past president, also from Varanasi. Murli Manohar Joshi says UP's division is bad for the state and the rest of the country. Rajnath Singh says we will decide the agenda later. Problems cannot be solved by the division of the states. Several smaller states in the country are facing major problems.
That's
1 minute.
Exactly my point.
1 minute, Meenakshi.
That's exactly
1 minute.
my point.
1 minute. Why such hypocrisy?
You need to have a research.
Why such hypocrisy?
It has to be backed up with a report.
Why such hypocrisy?
You can't just make an overnight announcement.
Why such hypocrisy? You are against the division of UP. You welcome the division of Andhra Pradesh.
Absolutely no hypocrisy. Mr. Goswami,
Sanjay.
No hypocrisy. On the contrary,
I've just proven
you're proving my point. You
I've
want
just
to
proven
divide
it.
a state. You need to take people's aspirations and make governance the issue.
I've just proven it.
Those issues.
On
and without a report, if you are making an announcement, that is a
I'm glad you started by
gimmick.
talking about Mr. L.K. Advani's statement where he was clearly against Telangana, and you're hearing the double speak of the BJP. The question is that I can tell you right now, you have got
Mr. Jha, your knowledge seems to be limited. Mr. L.K. Advani has made a statement on Sonia Gandhi's birthday कि मैं बधाई देना चाहता हूँ किस तरीके का निर्णय लिया, that too on the House of the
So I
Parliament.
think it's a political risk that we have taken. Meenakshi, can I finish? The political risk that the Congress party has taken in the interest of the nation.
And let me tell you,
as
I have a question.
Singh has clarified that you cannot approach the issue of reorganization of states in a casual manner.
I can read out the content of the debate.
It has to be taken from the merit on a case-to-case basis.
आप मुझे अवसर दे रही हैं, मैं सदन को बताना चाहती हूँ कि आज के लिए बधाई दूं कि आपने सदन के जिस प्रकार आंध्र प्रदेश की स्थिति में हस्तक्षेप करके एक नया उदाहरण प्रस्तुत
किया है। Who are you quoting?
10th December 2009.
Who are you quoting, Meenakshi? Who are you quoting?
I'm quoting Mr. Advani.
So I'll quote Murli Manohar Joshi.
Mr. Advani.
I'll quote Murli Manohar Joshi.
Don't play foul.
I'll quote Murli Manohar Joshi. Murli Manohar Joshi, I heard you when you quoted, you listen to me when I'm quoting. Murli Manohar Joshi says, if the question is of development, then Purvanchal and Bundelkhand can be taken care of through the setting up of a separate authority or through special funds for that development. Come on. Why is the BJP being hypocritical tonight?
Has that been done?
Well, why have you said that? Has that not been said?
That is Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi's plan.
Then you need to say tonight. Then you tell me tonight. Are you for the division of UP? Are you for the division of UP? Are you for the division of UP?
I am saying okay. Allow me. I will make up my mind if there is a detailed report on the benefits versus the faults, and then I will make up my mind. Until now, there is no research on the table. So first bring that research.
KTR wanted to come in. No. KTR wanted to come in. KTR, do you think national parties have inconsistency on this? Do you think national parties have inconsistency on this?
Even UP, Mr. Rajnath Singh ji has said
KTR.
that he will take a call later. Let's bring the facts on record.
No, you see, problem is Meenakshi, what's the point I'm making? KTR, I'm coming to you. The point I'm making is that national parties have no position on this. National parties have no consistency.
I'm making a very small point.
No consistency and no position.
No. I'm making a very... There is an absolute consistency in the thought, and the consistency is that if it suits the governance, and if you can manage with good governance by having state authorities...
KTR is responding.
People will not ask.
Yeah, that's same. KTR is responding.
People are asking.
KTR is responding.
One way or the other, you have to address those issues.
KTR is responding.
Those are issues of governance.
All I wanted to say... Arnab, all I wanted to say is, let the night belong to Telangana today. Let's not talk about UP or other states. Let us not, distract the people of Telangana from a historic day such as this. But having said that, let me also remind the rest of my friends on the panel that in our country, there seems to be no scientific rationale for formation of new states. On the one hand, we have something as small as Goa, and on the other hand, we have something as big as Uttar Pradesh, which is the 6th largest administrative unit in the world. Yes, it's a fact that whenever it suits the political parties and their convenience, definitely they take different positions in different states. It's a fact. We can't go.
But you can't divide a country on the basis of politics.
Let the night belong to Telangana.
No. One second. You're celebrating Telangana, but 1 second. There are people in Coorg who want a state. There are people in Saurashtra, Gorkhaland, Bundelkhand, Harit Pradesh, Kisan Pradesh, Mithilanchal, the Mithila state from Bihar, Greater Kuch Bihar, from West Bengal and Assam, Vidarbha in Maharashtra, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh is only one out of several which are pending. Now, other states people will say, just because you are politically significant and the Congress party can't afford to lose, so you will have Telangana and we won't have our state? That question will be asked, KTR. And my next question, however, is to Revanth Reddy of the TDP. Revanth Reddy, KTR says that political parties have no consistency on these issues. You delay it only when you think that you need to do it, otherwise you lose politically, you agree. The same is the story with your party, that PDP. You opposed the bifurcation since till 2008. When you realized you can't oppose it anymore, you went with it. Why don't you have one firm position? Why are you so politically opportunistic?
Arnab, actually this is a success of democracy. First time Congress party high command thinking in a democratic lines. This decision came from only CWC. It is not that the union government's decision. Still we are awaiting for a union government decision. And moreover, wherever public demand is there, wherever public aspiration is there, we should respect that their demand or otherwise their
Sir, when you were part of
that is called democracy. And moreover, remaining part of India, whatever demands are there, they are asking a smaller state. Here, particular in Telangana, this is the demerger of separate state.
Sir, you stopped the BJP. So 1 second. Is it true or not? Is it true or not that you stopped the BJP?
Demerger is going on.
No. Is it true or not that you stopped the BJP from announcing Telangana when you were an ally of the BJP? Please say yes or no. True or not? Even yes, Advani blamed you.
That time we were united Andhra Pradesh. Our party policy was united Andhra Pradesh.
So why do you keep changing your position?
Our policy is that.
So why do you keep changing your position? Why?
This is after all public demand, public movement is there. Then Telangana also public aspiration should respect Telugu Desam party.
See, what is coming across is very worrying. That political parties are only looking at their interest. And I think KTR raises a point. They are not looking at people's interest. No, you are all looking at your interest. You are not looking at the people's interest or the national interest. That doesn't even seem to be a consideration.
This is national interest, Pranab. Any political party should think in a public line. Then only you will survive in public.
Okay, we're getting a question from Raja Bundela. 3 minutes on the debate. Raja Bundela, quickly.
Whatever you said, now 2014 when the new government is going to come, whichever smaller states are going to be proposed, are you going to support that? Will you support? That's what you say, this is the people aspiration. So now you're going to support them wherever is genuine demand. So you're going to go for a favor, no?
No, they haven't said that. No political party, including the BJP or the Congress, are committing to
BJP
that.
can't go back. It's there in manifesto. That's what I wanted to tell you. When I met Mr. Advani ji, I met Rajnath ji. They said they are pro. They are going for Bundelkhand. They are ready for Vidarbha as well as for Telangana.
No, I call this super regionalism. Are you going to forever support super regionalism, Sanjay Jha? Is super regionalism the new trend? Is it good for national parties? Super regionalism?
Arnab, let me tell you, Arnab, no matter, firstly, let me tell you, if any political party believes that it can actually carve out a state because it has its own electoral gains, you cannot. Because the truth is that there are constitutional safeguards. I mean, it has to go through a very, very stringent process. I mean, even Telangana, as somebody
but Telangana,
this is what is happening all throughout.
Be passed in Parliament.
No, exactly.
So there are
this is what is happening.
Safeguards.
You've not
so
thought...
there is no question of any political party trying to exploit it.
No,
and I'm hoping that today people will acknowledge, and I'm glad it's happening today, that the UPA has taken a very bold decision. The Congress
you are taking a decision, that's fine, but you are not thinking of the consequences. No, you are not thinking of the
day we have taken an interest.
By the way, one second. I want you to tell the people of Vidarbha today. Sanjay Jha, you're from Mumbai, right? So tonight on TV, please, suppose somebody in Vidarbha is watching in Nagpur, a Vidarbha activist, right? Or a Mithilanchal activist in Bihar. I want you to tell the Mithilanchal activist or the Vidarbha activist why Telangana happens and Vidarbha does not happen, Mithilanchal does not happen, Bundelkhand does not happen. I want you to tell them what's the difference. Purely. Just give me a clear answer.
Arnab, that's not for me to answer.
Of course it is. Your party cleared it.
Let me tell you, end of day, these are all decisions that have to be taken whenever they are taken.
But you are representing a party. How you can say that?
This cannot be answered like this.
But then whatever you are saying, Sanjay ji, we are taking as you are representing Congress.
Political consensus.
Okay,
no
Mohammed Salim.
Party can create it on its own.
Permanent impact.
Yes, Mohammed Salim.
You take a decision on the basis of political exigencies, and you take something which has a permanent impact on the state, on the country, and for some narrow political gain in ensuing election. This is how what happened to the recommendation of the State Election Commission. You know, linguistic based state we created in our and Constitution has a special provision. And now for political parties to find out whether you can win the next election or not, you promise a state and then you go for that, burn down, and that's how you divide the people's unity. You are dividing the people's unity, you are encouraging that things, and this is not the way to fight backwardness. This is not the solution for the underdevelopment. And this is what you are trying to give. Instead of give the solution, you are creating more problems. Well, and this is what Congress is doing it, this is what BJP has done it, and don't paint in the same brush.
Well, I think basically Mohammed Salim is accusing all the parties backing Telangana of being of irresponsibility. I wrap up this discussion here. KTR says let the night belong to Telangana. So all the people who have been supporting Telangana, congratulations to them for what they have achieved. Not taking away from that, but KTR, I think we'll have a broader discussion once again in the future on what happens to the other 8 or 9 demands which will persist. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight. Thank you.